welcome to Steve Says So. So what you can't see at the moment is the video that I just recorded before this. I had a little look back over at it, and apart from the fact I waffled too much, as I normally do, I've got you on the selfie stick, and I had it sort of down here, and it kind of looked like either you was about to pleasure me, or that you've just been born from my non-existent vaginal canal. So anyway, now that's out of the way, let's get on with today's video. So last video was just before Mania, and I said that I would do a video, another one just before that, if something big was going to happen on the horizon. As it happens, we've had 3 events since then. Obviously, we've had Mania itself, we've just had Backlash, and before that we had the greatest Royal Rumble, which wasn't that great. Unsurprisingly, and unfortunately, with WWE at the moment, again, as they've kind of done in the past, is they're being very, very predictable, and Roman's in the main event of everything, and that's about all you need to know on that. But I am optimistic for the future. Hence 2 reasons for this video, as you could see in the title. So first of all, to let you know that my personal road to WrestleMania finally has started, and secondly, regarding Raw and Smackdown at the O2 Arena in London next week, which I will be attending. I had a couple of messages a little while ago, because people saying, "Am I going?" Yeah, of course I am. Like, you know, if people want to meet up, drink, food, just hang out, it's all good. I'm going to get there quite early anyway, because I'm meeting up with a few friends beforehand. We might even go around London for a little bit, so we'll see. Anyway, now that's out of the way, WrestleMania, my tour now begins. So if I draw your attention to my home screen, which is over here, excuse the mess on my desk, I eat and have everything up here. So I've already created a folder, WrestleMania 35. I know you can't see that from there, but I have, let me change the lens on here a second. So on here I've already got 2 documents. I've got hotel booking and to-do list. So let me go into the list. Okay, so I've got my list open, and I'm just going to run through very quickly, if I can, a couple of things on there that I've already either booked or that I would recommend you looking at booking very soon. So first and foremost, as you would have seen from the other document, I had a hotel booking. Naturally, I don't want to show you what my hotel booking is, unless you're a very lovely lady and you'd like to come in. But that's for another story, for another time. So anyway, so I've booked my hotel. I've currently booked with a couple of my friends, who are also going to be staying in the same hotel. The great thing is I've used one of these booking sites. Now, I'm not endorsed by anyone, so I don't mind telling you who and what I've done. So I've gone through booking.com. There's obviously a few other websites and stuff that you can use for the same kind of thing. The beauty of it is it's given me, I didn't have to do a deposit, and I've got free cancellation up until, I think with this one it's a week beforehand. Some of them are a day beforehand. Make sure you check your booking if you do that. Why have I booked a hotel this early for New York? Well, New York, yes, it has a heck of a lot of hotels, and obviously probably a lot more than, say, I don't know, New Orleans for the last WrestleMania. However, New York is, I don't know if you noticed, it's a pretty popular city. And as such, the prices are usually quite high, at least for if my head, which is massive, was New York, if this is a centre location, if you're staying on Steve's Nose, it's going to cost you a fortune. And everyone wants to stay on Steve's Nose, which is probably the strangest thing I've said today. So, book your hotel now. Do it on one of these sites so you can do it, and if you need to change it or cancel it, you can do, and you can get like either a refund or not have to even put a deposit on in the first place. But either way, it gives you a bit of peace of mind, security, knowing that this far in advance you've got a hotel. Because my intention, although I'm going to be getting a travel package to save myself a heck of a lot of stress, you know, in terms of trying to buy tickets and things like that, I'm going to be getting to New York, or the plan is to, the plan is to get to New York for about a week beforehand. So that's why I booked the hotel for that space of time. It also means that if one of the other hotels comes up that I was perhaps had my eye on, there's a couple of other perhaps nicer hotels that are either maybe out of my budget at the moment, or or perhaps fully booked at the moment, it's worth keeping an eye on those, so that nearer the time you can then perhaps swap and change hotels if you need to. The reason why I mentioned budget then is because I'm not necessarily looking at the cost of the hotel at the moment. I'd like to stay somewhere nice if I can. I don't want to be waking up in some shady neighbourhood or something like that. But I have you have to have a budget in mind for the whole WrestleMania trip. Otherwise, it can really sort of spiral out of hand, because we're talking about some big costs. So just have an idea in mind of what you're willing to part with. And then maybe book one of hotels based on that. Second thing, I'm looking at booking. I haven't booked it yet. Are flights. I'd like to book my flights in early, mainly for peace of mind, but also because of the way that prices fluctuate. So what they tend to do is they tend to come in at, say, a sort of static price. They'll raise a little bit as those flights start getting booked up, and then they'll drop for a little while, but not necessarily. That's not guaranteed. So the prices might drop a bit. And then they'll pick up again, and then you've got this kind of weird period between it's usually about 7 to 10 weeks out from a flight, where it could go one of two ways. Either the prices really drop, which they tend to do for sort of European flights, as in Europe to Europe, or they can skyrocket if it's somewhere like for America. So, for example, I was looking at New Orleans flights for WrestleMania this year, just on the whim of it's about February time. And I'd got a little bit of money in, and I thought, do you know what, I could get a cheap ticket to Mania perhaps and just sort of turn up. And it was a pipe dream, if anything. But I had a little look at the flights, and whereas I could have got them last year for, say, I don't know, I think it was about £630, they were going for like £890. And obviously with not necessarily the flights I wanted, they weren't all direct either. So it's worth having a look around. Maybe use sites like got a couple of friends who use Skyscanner. Again, I'm not endorsing any particular site, but Skyscanner kind of works a bit like Booking.com, where it'll find a selection of prices and give you usually cheapest options from that. Because it's New York, I'm really only intending on flying direct. It's the shortest possible flight you can make to America, so I can't be fanning about with other flights and things. So that bumps the price up a little bit if you're planning to do the same if you're flying direct. Also, most of the major operators, such as Virgin and British Airways, their prices haven't come out quite yet. I've already contacted them. You're looking at about another week, or just under, till they come out. So be worth looking out for those. Now, some of you have been using Skyscanner, might say you can get British Airways on there already, which you can. But me personally, I've after looking into it, there's mixed reviews. Some people were really happy with them. Some people online not so happy with them, simply because you've got less control over your ticket, shall we say. You're not dealing with for example, British Airways directly. So that's that. So those are the two things I've got booked in at the moment. I'll be looking at booking purchasing my ETSA very soon, which is the visa that you need to get to America. You might be thinking, why on earth would you book it that soon, Steve? Well, it's a 2-year visa. It works out in English money about £10 or £11, so it's not a load of money. Yes, I'd be losing nearly a year of it. It's a 2-year visa, nearly a year of it if I booked it soon. But it means that if there's any problems with that visa, which there shouldn't be, that if there is, that it gives me a few months to be able to sort that out with, for example, like the US Embassy and things like that. So if you've got issues with any potential issues with the visa, then look at doing that soon. I'll probably wait till about summer, to be fair. Other than that, starting to put together a little bit of an itinerary of places I'd like to go and see. So that's that. Quick reminder, O2 next week for Raw and Smackdown. I'm going to be sitting in Block 112. I'll be in the front row. Not the front row, but Block 112. So if you're kind of like looking at the ramp and you're looking at the ring, kind of like, yeah, I'm there, somewhere along there. No front row seat for Steve this year for Raw. I don't know how I pulled that off last year, but there we go. So I will be there. I will be getting there early both days as well. So if you see me, come say hi, and be good to meet up with some people there. So really looking forward to it. Have an awesome week, and maybe might see you next week. Going to be making a couple of videos for next week as well. So pop along, say hi, jump in the video. Take care. Peace.